Now, let me ask you this: what role does self-worth play in attracting and maintaining healthy relationships?
What does self-worth?
Yeah,
I mean,
It's a big part. It's a huge part.
well, a lot of people don't have self-worth. Like they
But
going. I mean, if you're talking about, do you feel like a person, in order to be in a healthy relationship, they got to have some level of self-worth about themselves and admiration, appreciation for themselves, in order to have a healthy relationship? Because if they don't,
that's
say
where
they
that's
going,
where the toxic and bullshit
they
come
go,
in at.
they go in with trauma, they go in with baggage, they go
Hmm.
in with all that
That's
stuff,
where all that toxic stuff come from.
and they can't maintain a relationship because they're not used to having a healthy relationship
Yeah.
or whatnot, so to speak, or what they deemed was healthy was not really healthy.
Hmm.
So they think toxic is healthy.
Yep. They think that's love. They think toxic is love
Yeah.
Yeah,
because they don't know what real love is.
I agree with that.
So if you don't have no type of self-worth or self love,
I was about to say that, love.
yeah, if you don't have that, then how in the world can you love another person?
Yeah.
True.
Now you just infatuated with that person because they didn't showed you something different.
True.
Ain't no way you can love somebody and not love yourself. How I'm I don't understand that. It just it cannot happen.
Yeah, it always surprises me when people speak bad on themselves
Mhm.
about what they can't do, or that that they feel like they're stupid. Like they just talk really bad on themselves, and it's kind of like, is you can't love yourself if you're talking bad about yourself.
Mhm.
Like it's kind of like contradiction. Like you like, yeah, I love myself, but I also think I'm stupid.
You be sitting there like, what? Wait
Right.
a minute, hold on. I don't think you can be in any type of relation. I don't think you can raise kids if you don't love yourself for real, for real.
True, because how can you love them kids?
Exactly. How can you show them kids love if you don't love yourself?
Do you bring up Anna? Do you think a person could have so much love to give and not love themselves?
yeah.
No.
Because like if you got so much love to give, it's because you loving people the way you wish you were loved. Because some people don't love themselves because of how they was treated. Like if you was constantly put down by your parents growing up, that's what you're going to start to think that about yourself because that's all you heard as a child. So, but deep down, the kid in you is going to love people the way you wished you were by your parents.
I understand that logic. I understand that logic. But the reason why I said no is because you can't give something you never felt.
Or you never had.
Or you never had.
Or you was never shown.
Exactly.
You can give the idea of what you think it is.
But see,
like your idea could be a whooping.
Yeah, your idea can be a whooping. Your idea could be starving them, or your idea
love
can
is
be
getting up and fixing them breakfast. That's love.
Love.
That's bare minimum.
But I mean, that's still
that's a start.
That's a love for a child, though.
But if you don't love yourself, you're not gonna get up out that bed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't love yourself, why you gonna take your kid to school?
Mm-hmm.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm doing good in life. You don't. Hey, how you ain't got no job. You catching the bus. You want that kid? You want that for your child?
Yeah.
Oh, he'll be okay. You don't love yourself,
right?
So if you don't, you can give a lot of pain because that's what you know,
right?
You know what I'm saying? There's no way you can give too much love if you never had the love or felt love, or if you don't love yourself. There's no way you can give something you don't have, or you don't know how to, or you don't know how to feel.
What if they give out love that they see?
Yeah. But how do they know that's love?
Yeah, What you mean?
You can see a lot of things on social media. So you can see a lot of things, even if it's not the general idea or what love really is. You can still see the basis of it based off like how two people react and how they treat each other. So
now you're basically going off of. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So now you're basically going off of something you see.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a feeling no more. It's not. You're not giving anything. So now you're just acting out something you seen.
So
that's what they're doing. If they're looking at it off the internet, they're just reacting off what they seen.
Mm-hmm.
They're not feeling. They're not okay. Let's say you with your girl. They see it on the internet. You're supposed to take her out. You're supposed to open the doors up and everything. When a guy does this for a woman, he's feeling her. I feel like I should do this because I want to respect her. Mm-hmm. But if you don't know how to feel this and you just doing it, now you're just acting. You're not, there's no feeling into it. You see what I'm saying?
So to piggyback on that, your social media is the equivalent of TV and movies when we were growing up.
Yeah.
So when we seen like
Cosby Show,
the Cosby Show and stuff like, and a different world and everything like that, like a different world kind of shows you what college life was going to look like with a mixed group of people, black people and everything, and then you get to college, it's not really like that.
Nope.
You look at the Winslows, you look at the Cosbys, and you think, oh, if I'm a doctor, life is going to look like this. I'm going to have this nice house,
and then kids can be well respected.
Then you get out there and you realize life is not like that. You go look at these movies and you see what the happy ending looks like, and you see what love could possibly look like, and you got to fight for it. It's a struggle and everything. And then you get into real life, and then you realize that that story ends when the credits go off, because that's what it is. It's fantasy.
Yours don't end.
Yours don't end. So some people that grew up in my generation, they look at movies and they look at TV shows, and because we were kind of raised in front of the TV, so it's kind of looked at like, I mean, we did go outside, but we still had TV and movies, so it was kind of like, oh, that looks like the life, especially if you came from like a single parent household, that looks like the life, and you always kind of wanted that, but then when you got into the real world and you didn't realize the ups and downs of a relationship that you had to go through, because they didn't really show a lot of downs in movies. They didn't show a lot of downs in TV. They showed like a struggle, but then it was like a happy ending.
Yep.
And then that was it. And you like, man, I want my life to be just like that happy ending, that struggle love and that building.
It ain't nothing like it.
And you kind of seen it in black movies, that struggle love, arguing, fighting, like Baby Boy, which is a popular movie, but look how they struggled. Dude was cheating on her, had another baby on her, beat her, and then it ended up in the end, he's just righteous, straightforward guy. And then everybody think, oh, that's the life that I want to live. But I mean, think about it. That movie happened over the course of a week.
That's a fact.
It happened over the course of a week. So we Jason's lyric, looking at that type of stuff and thinking like, oh man, like I want that type of romance. I want that type of love, or like Poetic Justice, like, road tripping with a girl that you ain't never met, and you're instantly having some like animosity towards each other. Then click, and now all of a sudden is how many times you rolled up and people like talking about something they want to go do the 2 by 3 cousin and a whole picnic and see if they can get away with it. Like,
ain't nobody getting away with that.
Ain't nobody
getting away with it. Everybody turn around and look like, I don't know him.
But that's what we had in our generation to portray like what black love is, because you didn't see it as often, but the way they portrayed it is the way we try to mimic it in real life. So for us, it was movies and TV. For y'all, it's social media. And so media is kind of like the biggest perpetrator of what happiness look like, because it's not true. No matter how you look at it, it's just not a true thing.
Nope.